Okay, so I got confirmation for that spiritual gifts being stripped message that I got a few days ago. I got it in a dream message last night. So I don't typically get messages like that. So when I was getting that from the cards, it was a little bit wild just because I don't normally get stuff like that. But last night, the dream confirmed it. This individual has lost their spiritual sight. Third eye and crown chakras burnt out because they have been continuously targeting the collective's foundation. They may have even been using four corners or the four elements to help with these. They may have been doing ritual type stuff. They may have also had a coven or group of 2 or 3 others helping them at the beginning. This could also be something that has been going on for the past 4 years. 4 is significant. So it could have been them and 3 others doing this. It was definitely targeting the collective's foundation and stability, though. And they may have been getting guidance or getting warnings from an older man in their life, either a grandpa that's still alive or like a grandpa energy that's passed over that helps them. Since they lost, because they didn't just lose, they've been dealing with lack of spiritual sight, crown chakra, third eye chakra either being completely burnt out, inactive, or overactive, where they don't have control, like they're just being flooded with stuff. They've been going to this man, this masculine energy, for help with spiritual sight. Now, again, I don't know if he is living or if he is passed over energy that they were having help with their spiritual sight. This man was serving as like their spiritual goggles, if you will. They can't do that anymore, though. They have misused their abilities. If they were trying to also cause mental distress or haunting type of scenarios for the collective, because if you mess with the mind space, that will affect the foundation and stability as well. If they were doing that, then their third eye crown chakra are massively overactive, and it's creating a haunting mental instability in them. This person, this group, they were using backdoor access to get to you, collective. They were using a relationship that you had as their access point. So this isn't somebody that you had a close connection with. This is somebody connected to somebody that you had a close connection with. That could be a spouse. That could be like boyfriend, girlfriend. That could be a friend, a family member. But they were using that middle person's energy as the backdoor access to you. I do not believe that they can use that backdoor access anymore. I believe that your spiritual, based on my dream, your spiritual protection is kicking them out. Like, you can protect yourself adequately, but also your spiritual protection is kicking them out. Let's just see what else we can get. They are still trying to do spell work, though, which blows my mind, but... Okay, Source, what else do you have about this dream message, please? They could have been cloaking as the person that you had a connection with as well. So, the way that I see the cloak in my dreams is they may look like that energy, but they don't feel like that energy. They don't act like that energy. There's significant differences in how they show up versus how that person actually is in their energy. That's how I can easily tell that it's a cloak, is they do not behave like that person. It's they do not feel like that person. It's completely different. Follow the white rabbit, Alice. Leave your exes in the past. So this could be an ex that they were using to get used as the back door. So there may be a need to cut cords, sever that energetic connection. I know that some people don't believe in cutting cords. They think that it causes more harm than good. But if you leave connections open, it gives access to you. I know that there are people out there that also believe that if you don't believe in it and you don't give it any energy or focus, then it won't survive in your life. And I've also found that to be not true in my own life. When I just ignored it and pretended like it wasn't happening, it not only stayed, but it got worse. If people know what they are actually doing with energy and spell work, they can affect you until you learn how to protect yourself. And just saying, oh, it's not going to hurt me, it's not going to harm me, that's not always enough. Especially if you are spiritually open. If you are an open channel, if you have spiritual gifts that you're not strengthening, if you have a spiritual path that you're supposed to be walking, these things are happening because you're needing to learn how to spiritually protect yourself, how to energetically protect yourself. You're experiencing these things to get you onto your path. Shining bright. So this is part of the reason that they were continuing to come for you, collective, is you're shining bright. Your age within 2 years. For some of you, this person is close to you in age. Spamming phone number to cause frustration, so spell work will attach. So if they have your number, they could be doing that. They could be giving your number out to spam, like signing your number up for in the spam text messages, or throwing it out there to be used a black market type style, black web. Or dark web. But essentially what they're trying to do with that, and it may not be your phone number. If they don't have your phone number, they could be spamming your comments. They could be spamming an email. They could be spamming an address. They can just any way that they can cause irritation, frustration, or overwhelm is a way to hit your frequency, to lower it, to cause that spell work to be able to get through. When you are resting in a place of like gratitude or unconditional love or authenticity, you're vibrating really fast. Your frequency vibrates really fast. When you go down to the lower energies, hate, anger, jealousy, envy, you're vibrating a lot slower. Think of a fan on high speed, how fast the blades are going, and a fan on low speed, how slow the blades are going. It's very easy to ping something through a fan that is going low, on low speed, where the blades are not turning very fast. But when you try to ping something through the blades, through the fan, and they're going high speed, most of the time it hits the blade and it bounces back. That's essentially what's happening when they're sending you this spell work and you're resting in authenticity, unconditional love, gratitude, peace, joy, those types of things. As we now have a fly around my crown, it's just bouncing right back to them because you're vibrating too high for it to get through. All right. This is your manifestation. So you may have asked for to be put, if you asked to be put on your right path, and your right path is spiritual, you may be having things like this happen so that you can get on your right path. If you're meant to be in a spiritual capacity on your path, you are going to have to learn how to deal with spell work and energetic work, stuff like that. Never protected by the angelic realm. So this could definitely be somebody who pretends to be, for some of you, it's going to be somebody that pretends to be love and light, that pretends to be religious, that pretends to be healing and helping, They may even pretend to have backing of the angelic realm. They may claim Archangel Michael. They may claim, you know, the archangels. They've never had protection from them because they're out here doing stuff like this. They're out here using their abilities to try to destroy somebody's mental space, try to destroy somebody's foundation and stability. No, that's too many. Oh, path has been cleared. So whatever they're doing, it's going to be cleared, or it already has if they've been stripped of. So collective, you've been going through this for long enough that you've learned to protect yourself. You've learned the lessons that you needed to learn from this if they've been stripped from what they've been able to do, and the path has been cleared. So they're no longer able to affect you. So if you've been at this for several years and you're like, when are they going to not be able to do this anymore? They're not able to do this anymore. You learned the lesson. You learned to protect yourself. Spell work to siphon your finances. That would be part of your stability. Did or paid for magic for your teeth to rot and fall out. So they're hitting your physical as well. Amun, which is, I believe, ancient Egypt, the hidden one, things brought to light. This is the masculine energy of creation. Call back your energy cleansed and healed, or simply cut off the access point. This is what I was talking about with cutting cords. You need to cut off that access point, cut off their ability to use that person as a backdoor to your energy. No more self-sacrificing. Red hair in reverse, and freak in the sheets in reverse. So red hair is more of like a, I'm going to take it in the upright. Red hair is more like a, I don't want to say anomaly, but a rarity. Not a lot of people have red hair. And with it in reverse, that means that this person has normal colored hair. They've got brunette hair, blonde hair, something like that. And then freak in the sheets. They may use O method as part of their sending of work. Oh, I think this is your manifestation was also in reverse before I flipped it. If they've been manifesting off of you, that has stopped as well. They cannot do that anymore. For some of you, you have several people that have been doing energetic or spell work, either themselves with a group or paying for it. The path has been cleared of these people. And many of them, if they were doing the work by themselves, or the work themselves, not necessarily by themselves, but doing the work themselves, they've lost ability to do that. Specifically, third eye and crown chakra. All right, Source, what else do you have about these, I'm going to call them perpetrators. The Emperor in reverse and the Queen of Cups reverse. This feels like that masculine energy that was helping them and them. Queen of Cups reverse. Emotionally manipulative. They may play damsel in distress, and whoever the masculine is that was or is trying to help them, they are tyrant energy. So they're both in distorted energy. They may have also said, collective, that you aren't protected by the angelic realm. However, I mentioned specifically Archangel Michael, so I feel like that's not true. And I feel like whoever they've been having help them with this, because this is a group effort again. At least it started out as a group effort. They gathered other people to help in this. Those other people have learned firsthand that they were lying about you not being protected by the archangels, specifically Archangel Michael. And I rarely bring up names in readings, although they've been coming up a little bit more as of recently, just because I don't believe that it's necessary. Archangel Michael could have actually been who blew out their third eye and crown chakra. The last attempt on your foundation, their authority, their identity was completely removed, scalped. Alright, Source, what else do you have about these people? I want to call them scallywags. But I could just like that word now because it came through, you know? Queen of Wands in the upright. She looks angry. And in Alice in Wonderland, she is absolutely seen as a tyrant, as someone who uses their power to harm. I'm seeing the scene where she's talking to Alice, and it's not your way, it's always my way. That's what it's giving. It's giving entitled. And it's giving the energy that you see often with the only childs, where they're entitled and everything is about them, everything is focused on them, because that's what they're used to. They've been the only child. They're not used to having to share. They're not used to things going someone else's way. And that's what this is giving. Always my way. 5 of Swords in the upright. We've got that same queen. Swords is mind space. Mental. You could also link that with these cups. With these cups, I said. With these cards to third eye and crown. Intuition. Somebody who wanted to win at all cost is now losing it all. They may be sitting on a throne, but they've got nothing but wasteland around them. There's not a bird in the sky. There's no water. All they've got is their familiar. There's no water, there's no vegetation, there's no other people. The only energy that they may have left is their familiar. Ugh. 6 of Pentacles reversed. And that's a group. They don't have people helping them anymore. They may have been kicked out of the coven, or the other coven members may have left, may have said, I can't do this anymore. Or if there was some kind of like oath of staying together and secrecy or any of that stuff at the beginning, the other members may not have officially told this person, I don't want to be in this anymore, but they've definitely energetically and physically separated themselves. They don't meet very often, they don't talk very often, and they don't help with this person's magic anymore. Two of Cups reversed. Separation. That's what I was just saying. I've got some kind of banging out there. Confirmation as well. Queen of Pentacles as well. So we've got almost all of the queens out here. The only one in the upright is Queen of Wands, the angry one. So unstable. Emotionally unhinged. Not tapped into intuition. Losing resources. There's Justice and King of Swords reversed. So if they did anything illegal, identity theft, doing things in your name, justice is coming down for it. The Worlds. This cycle for them is over. This cycle for them is absolutely over. So they may have had two feminines helping, plus this older masculine. Father, grandfather, and I don't know if they're living or passed over. That may have been the four. Knight of Cups. But this whole thing is rejected. What's going to happen to the collective's finances that this person... Temperance, imbalance. Okay, let me finish. What is they may be sitting in rejection and imbalance? What is going to happen with the collective's finances if this person's been able to affect it? They may have created financial imbalance. Ace of Swords. You're going to have new ideas. And truth and clarity around your finances. What's going to happen to the collective's finances? Seven of Wands and Six of Cups. You're going to be able to better protect your foundation. And you may be using something inner child related to bring it back into balance. Give me Ten of Swords reversed. You're going to heal it. You're going to heal this betrayal. So if your finances were hit and you knew your finances were hit, it's going to be reversed. You're going to heal whatever was being brought out by them being able to affect it. They may have been trying to show you limiting beliefs. Not this person, but your team and source could have been trying to show you limiting beliefs, lack of faith or belief in self, where you're giving your power away, those types of things. Two of Wands reversed. Yeah, their stuff is done. Their plans are done. Their options, their choices are done. right. Collective, you may feel like a weight lifted, a relief when this transpires in your life, because for everyone it's not happening right this second. Depending on where you are in your journey, in your path, will depend on when this takes place, if this is for you. If this is for you, you will know this is for you, because you will have gotten the signs and the confirmations that this was for you way before you ever saw my reading. Okay? If you're like, I don't know, is someone doing that? This is not for you. Do not take on this energy. If it's not for you, you're just going to cause problems for yourself. Whoever this is for, they know. They're a part of a collective that has been dealing with this for a while because of what their North Node entails, because of what their destined path is. They know it. They've been made fully aware of it. All right. What else? Collective, even with you going up against this, and for some of you, you had more than one person doing this to you. You had more than one small group doing this to you, okay? You've had some of the people that were doing this to you already removed from your life, from being able to do this. Even though you were up against this, even though you were up against people trying to harden you or soften you to spoil, to cave, you still had the ability to push out a foliage of love. Love for self, love for your path, love for others, and healing. I'm sitting here looking at these 3 plants, and the leaves look like hearts. And it's like, even though you were up against people trying to destroy your mental health, trying to destroy your foundation, your stability, trying to take your finances, you still had the ability to create love, to create healing in a lot of different ways. In a lot of different areas. You went from having no idea what was happening, why it was happening, what was going on. 8 of Pentacles reversed. Novice, no idea. You went from the very beginning to an expert in what you do, into mastery of what you do. You are the coffee bean. You change the environment, you change the water, you change the energy. It doesn't change you. And I don't think that you just yet have realized the true power that you hold. Because power has never been a focal point for you. It's not something that you've ever wanted to attain. You've never been like, oh, I'm going to do this so I can be powerful. You're not. That's who these people are. You're not that. And because you're not doing it for power and dominance over others, you're going to gain more power than you ever realized you would have access to. Okay. What else do you have for the collective? 2929 on the timer. You created this. You created the mastery. And you're realizing you always had everything you needed inside of you to create this mastery. This mastery didn't come because somebody else gave you something. This mastery came because you shut the outside out and truly went within. You may have a manifestation about to hit. I've been picking up on this energy for a little while too. That is going to change everything. And it's going to hit randomly when you're not looking, you're not paying attention, and it's going to change everything. If you have been manifesting and working towards a certain level of stability, that is coming in. And again, it's going to change everything. But this is something that you had to be ready for. You had to be prepared to hold it. Let the stuff at the bottom, at the base, let it fall away. The stuff that is not meant to be with you. Okay? This manifestation for this certain level of stability may have been held off because of the injustices that were being done, but also because you wouldn't have done it justice. You were still allowing people, places, things, environments, situations to have access to you and to take up energetic space that didn't deserve to be there. And not because you're superior to anyone or anything else, but because it wasn't aligned. Plain and simple, it wasn't aligned. And not aligned doesn't mean one is good and one is bad. It just simply means it is not aligned. Give me more on Seven of Pentacles and Four of Swords. Seven of Pentacles reversed and Four of Swords. You've completed some kind of cycle with these injustices, with people that do this, either solo or in groups. You've completed some kind of cycle that there isn't anything else for you to do when it comes to this. Like, you may be thinking, what else can I do? What else do I need to do for this manifestation, for this stability, for this whatever it is? For this foundational change, there's nothing else for you to do but rest and heal from this. I'm seeing the, let me see if it's, I'm seeing the Queen of Swords in this deck, where she's sitting on the like raft and her sword is in its case. Here we go. This is where you need to be. Healing and resting. Put the sword down, not away. You don't put it away. You are forever a spiritual warrior. And when you need to use it, you have that sword right there. But she's not standing at attention. She's not on guard. She's contemplating future. She's visualizing, in my eyes right now, I just got body chills. She's visualizing what she wants the future to look like since she's closed out this cycle. And I'm just saying she because it's the Queen of Swords. There's a need to relax, rest, heal the wounds, heal the tired soul that had to be on guard while you were awake, while you were asleep, on guard from these energies that were trying nonstop to affect your mental space, your foundation. Sit back, kick your feet up, put the sword to your side, rest, and visualize what you want the future to look like without all of this. Because although I just had a fly buzz right through, and it buzzed, it was loud. Not all flies buzz. Although they may be trying to still buzz around and make you believe that they still have the ability to do what they used to do, they don't. Either because it's literally been stripped, or because you are no longer energetically within reach. You're vibrating too high for them to reach. So even if they do send stuff, it just pings right back. Remember, the fan. Your blades are spinning too fast. It pings back. And it's likely making it through to them because they're vibrating at a much slower pace. I just heard daydream about, in my head, I just got daydream about what you want your future to look like. You've already put in the work. You've already mastered. And this isn't to say you won't have work to do again, but this is just saying at this space, you may be in a place where you're needing to rest. And visualize. And I saw that card, so let me just see. What else do you have? The storm has cleared. The sky is clear. Doesn't mean you're never gonna have a storm again, but this storm has cleared. Five of Pentacles reversed and the Six of Wands. Victory. Public victory. Success. You have overcome what they were trying to keep you in. What someone who misuses energy. We've got both the King and Queen of Wands out here. People who misuse their energy. You're having victory over it. You may have some level of fame. If you have a platform, your platform may be on an uptick. Yeah, Tower reversed and Knight of Wands. They can't bring the towers to you anymore. You are sitting in a place of control over your energy, excitement, celebration, victory, abundance. You're enjoying life, or you're being asked to. You're being asked to enjoy the hard work that you've put in and mastered. They cannot bring the towers to you like they used to. Now remember, new level, new devil, right? Devil as an archetype, not as like, okay. I hope you get what I'm saying. It's an archetype. This same thing can't happen again. There will be new people that try, and you'll learn new depths of things, new tricks, new tactics. But the towers that they were continuously trying to hit you with are done. You've succeeded over it. They're stuck in whatever they're stuck in whatever they created. They're stuck in their own energy, in the reality of who they actually are, somebody who fakes creation, who fakes support, who fakes balance. They want to be seen as the Empress, but they are not. They fake it. Because instead of working on themselves to get to the place of all four queens And then therefore the Empress, they try to drag others down so that they look better instead of actually becoming better. But they're stuck in that. They're stuck in lack of creation energy, in decaying energy, constant endings, and no longer having the ability to use third eye or crown chakra skills. And like I said at the beginning, they are either burnt out, unusable, like completely off type of deal, or like blocked off, or they are overactive, creating the same mental instability that they were trying to create for others. For some it's blocked, and for some it's overactive. They are now being haunted by what they were trying to cause for another. And I say this a lot as well. If you cannot handle the energy and spell work that you're sending to someone else, you shouldn't be doing it. And if you can handle it, you wouldn't be sending it to another, because you know what it's like to heal from it. You know what it's like to have to master that type of energy. You wouldn't want to put somebody else through that. But people who don't actually hold great power, they have to inflict power on others. Those who do hold great power, genuinely have great power, they don't have to inflict it on others. In fact, they don't. All right, we're going to leave that here. Happy healing.